go to the next speaker, also one quick announcement. As you've heard, we had earlier in the other room in the third floor up there, we have the Startup Avalanche going on. So there will be now the second track of the Startup Avalanche going on, so for all the VIP holders. So you also have like the parallel tracks. We'll continue here. I just wanted to announce that that's going on. And here we're going to continue with Vladimir, who has been on stage already today, and who is one of the most successful Romanian entrepreneurs and one of the best product managers out of Romania, who's built Uber, sold to Hootsuite, and is there the head of product management there now, and he'll educate us of what kind of different areas of product management there are. And hopefully we can take some product management experience to Romania, which is definitely very, very strongly needed. So thank you very much for coming here, and the stage is all yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, I'm going to talk about different types of product managers out there. Before we begin, let me tell you a few words about myself. I started various businesses since my second year of college. The most successful one is a company called Uberview. It was a social media analytics company, and we started that company in 2008, beginning of 2009. And we've been through all the stages of a startup. We applied to an incubator, we grew people, we grew our team, our development team, we launched different products, we opened offices in London, in Boston, we had hundreds of enterprise clients, thousands of users, and raised VC money, did all that. So I'm an entrepreneur first and foremost. After my company was acquired by Hootsuite, I've been a director of product, and I made a shift from being an entrepreneur to being a product guy. And I became very, very passionate about building cool products, and that's what I'm gonna talk to you about today. Okay, product management seems to be the hottest role right now. How many of you think you're product managers or you're owning products? Any product people in the room? There's one. Alright, I mean, product managers are the hottest roles right now. And this is one quote from a very famous guy stating that product management is like being the CEO of the product. Another diagram says that product managers are at the intersection of business, design, and engineering. I mean, it sounds pretty exciting. It seems like we are in the power. It looks like we are we're a perfect human being, well balanced. We can do everything. I mean, we rock. We are like Steve Jobs and Bezos and Linus Torvalds all into one. I mean, and the clicker doesn't work. So we rock. We are the most powerful people in the company. At least that's what you get if you're reading the articles and you read all the quotes. The reality, however, is a little bit different. And I'm going to talk about the harsh reality of being a product manager. The reality is our job does not really exist. We have not finished the product management academy. We don't know the same things. The reality is this job only began a few years ago. And this messiah-like harmonizing figure that can build crazy experiences did not exist until a few years ago, and frankly, it does not exist in reality. Very few people know what product managers do. Twitter recently did a study where they asked all their employees to identify the roles of various people and very few people to no one knew what product managers are doing. Everyone knew what designers are doing, everyone knew what programmers are doing, but product managers, they're just walking around doing things. And this is in a stark contrast to all the articles and the quotes and the images that you're seeing where we are really, really powerful. And in reality, I would say that we are less of this Vitruvian, perfect, well-balanced individual, and more like the South Park version, which is the man-bear-pig. And for those of you who are not fans of South Park, the man-bear-pig is someone who's half man, half bear, and half pig. That's kind of our job. And one of the things that I wonder is why do all product managers doing different things? I've met with product managers from companies like Google to the smaller startups, and if you ask what they're doing on a daily basis, none of them are doing the same things. It's like they're doing different roles. So how can it be that we're all having this name on our business cards, but we're doing completely different things? And I'm here to say that our backgrounds and our education and our previous roles are influencing a lot of how we practice our jobs. And I would like to walk you through 4 types of product managers, some of which are more popular than others. And I'm going to focus on some of the risks that are coming from using a lot of what you used in your previous jobs in this new fancy role. The first one that I would like to focus on is the engineer. The reality is most product managers are coming from an engineering background. I'm one of them. I finished the computer science university, I was a coder. All my life I wanted to be the kind of guy who writes the most brilliant software. And these are the guys that are running most product management teams today. And being an engineer is great because you understand what your engineering team is talking about. You can relate with them, you can feel their pain, and you can really plan for software development. The problem is, in a lot of companies, engineering-driven product managers are like translators. What that means is they can take the business requirements as defined by the business owners and put it into programming dialect. Because the reality is, for most business owners, programmers are speaking like an ancient form of Klingon, and having a product managers that can serve as a buffer between the business guys who are in charge of the numbers and the programmers who are in charge of the code is very, very helpful. And they're pretty popular with the business executives because they can create lots and lots of features because they understand technology, they do all this translation, and lots of features are coming out. So productivity, that's amazing. The risk is that you're building a product with lots of features that no one needs. I would advise for caution. The other popular type is the project manager. And I've seen a lot of companies where the product manager is pretty much a project manager. And being a project manager means you're operating on a schedule. You want to hit the certain dates, and you will plan the hell out of a product and a project to get a certain date. These types are pretty popular too. The risk is that always trying to hit a specific date can take you into some weird engineering decisions. And what may happen is at some point in time, all the engineers, after a long string of successful releases that got you a lot of awards, engineers say, you know, the code base that we have developed so far is shit, and we have to do a full rewrite. And that's bad. A full rewrite is probably the worst thing that your engineers can say. Friendster did a full rewrite back in the day, and They're not around to tell us how that went, especially because of that. The other very popular type is the marketing guy. In a lot of companies, the product marketing and the product management functions are rolled into one. And the thinking is that who's better prepared to sell and promote a product than the person who created it in the first place? Especially if we're talking about very technical products with a lot of specific details, the product manager is probably the best one to sell it. Again, this is very, very, very popular with a lot of companies. And this is great because people coming from the marketing side have a lot of great communication skills. The problem is, in a lot of cases, the product definition is skipped altogether, and all the definition that the engineering team gets is some high-level requirements, usually dealing with vision and high-level plans. And those are very hard to be put into code. So in a lot of cases, you get missed deadlines and frustrated teams because they have no idea what they have to build. And the last one is the artist or the designer. There's a lot of debate whether UX and product management are actually the same roles. If you go to a product management community and the UX community, you'll see that we're discussing about the same things. The only reason that I see with the UX-driven product managers is not compromising on the details, and this could lead to frustration and with the engineering team, who feels like they have to spend lots of cycles for some details that nobody's interested in apart from the designer. So after hearing me speak, you can think like we're all screwed, right? I mean, no matter how you're doing it, you can fail and fail miserably. So what's the escape? For me, the escape comes from the fact that we have to admit that we are no longer engineers or designers or marketers. This is a new role. And the key thing for this role is to own the decision-making for the product. That's the job that we are asked to do on a daily basis. We're not asked to be the top engineers. That's not why we got this job. We're not asked to provide the visual direction for the product. We have a team that's supposed to do that. So we're not doing this role because of our expertise. So we may come from different backgrounds and we may have our own histories with engineering teams or design teams or marketing teams. But our job is to facilitate the interaction between all of these teams while owning the decision-making for all these aspects. Because our main stakeholder is not the business executive, our main stakeholder is the user. And we have to provide great experiences for him. So I'll end by asking you if your background holding you back, and if you feel like it's holding you back, then take ownership of the product and move to the next level. Thank you.